Let's give this another whirl. The beautiful thing about video is you can shoot it again. But hey, I wanted to talk with you on your way home tonight, and it's worth telling, so I'm going to come back to it. But my audio was off on the first video, so here we go. Let's give it a whirl. The beautiful thing about honest customers is you learn so much from them. Now, I'm going to tell you a story of what happened yesterday, but you'll hear me throughout any training I ever do. I pull everything from live role play, live calls, true live calls. Everything is done based on what a customer says. I focus on the customer. But last night I had one of my clients, after we've started doing all these videos, he's like, look, instead of just me sending you a call, because legally he can't do that, he said, why don't we just, you get on and listen. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I get on the call with him, and I'm going to give you a fake name. I'm going to talk about real numbers, and I'm not going to tell you the industry, but everything that I'm telling you is based on something that happened yesterday. But here's the situation. I get on a call last night with Jim, and he's calling one of his clients, and he was approached by his potential client's sister. And the sister knows that her brother is going to be, well, he's putting himself really in a situation where he's going to get $100,000 versus $120,000. And like anything else, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind, in any transaction, if the customer can get more, that means the salesperson generally gets less. And that's what happens in this particular incident. The other thing is, if Jim can get the business, he's basically poaching it from someone else. So some of nothing, or some of very little, is better than none of nothing. In other words, he's not going to get any of it if he can't get the customer to move. But here's what I'm wanting you to realize. The customer that answered the phone let him fully explain everything. He told him, hey, look, I can work with you. I can get you an extra 20 grand. And the client's exact words out of his mouth, look, man, you don't give a damn about me. You're doing this just for your own commission. And instantly Jim went to, no, that's not what I'm wanting at all. I don't care if you do it with me, you can do it with someone else. And what he did at that moment, and not intentionally, was he called the customer a liar. But let's be honest. Was the customer being honest? He was. We all work for a living. If you look at those buildings behind me, those things are built with profit. Nobody builds those buildings just to build the buildings and let people rent in there for free. Everything in this world rotates around profit. And if you're a salesperson, you work for commission. I don't care if you're paid commission or not. If you work in a store that pays you an hourly rate, that store has a number that they expect you to sell so that they can pay you the money that they pay you. Nothing happens for free. So when that customer hit him, and I mean the customer hit him pretty hard, he had obviously been called by a bunch of different people, so the customer was a little bit irritated, but his honesty was priceless. So once we get through with the call, I'm spending some time with Jim, and I have to give Jim credit. He took that hit. He had an answer right back. He had another answer right back. And this is my advice to you as salespeople. When you get hit with an objection that's very hard and you're not prepared to handle, and one of them most of the time is too expensive. And if you look out, I don't care, in every training that I keep seeing here lately, no one's teaching you to flip back into the probing process to find out the financial impact on the customer. And it's just shocking to me, because number one, if you're going, especially if you're in a B2B environment and you're going to make a recommendation for $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 or $1 million, your customer is trying to figure out, how is it going to pay for itself? They don't care if you eat, they care if they eat and their employees eat. Always remember that. Your client may like you, they may take you hunting, they may take you fishing, but in the end, they are going to focus on them. Like I said, those buildings behind you are not built by them just giving money away. They're wanting to make a buck with everything that they spend their money on. So what happened in this, I gave him feedback on two things. Number one, you went into the close thinking that 20 grand would buy you a friendship. It did not. You've got to have a bond with that customer. I spend a lot of money working with a gentleman named Frank Kern, And right now, his main focus is the importance of building the bond. Just like the videos I'm doing right now, I charge you nothing for these videos, and I'm going to continually do videos. But ultimately, at some point, I want customers from this. I want them to realize when they're out there investing in their salespeople, when they're moving things along, that they should reach out to me to see if I can help them. Because it's not just sales that I do. I look at marketing. I look at everything. So what happened with Jim yesterday was simple. He went in thinking the 20 grand would buy the friendship. He took it right up underneath the chin. The customer put it to him. It was a beautiful thing. At first, when we got off, who do you think he blamed? He blamed the customer. He said, what kind of idiot is not going to take 20 grand? Well, let me give you a hint, ladies and gentlemen. They're stuck with you for a long time a lot of times. Sometimes it's worth 20 grand for the salesperson just to go away. If you're not going to focus on me, I would rather you go. That way I don't have to deal with you or see you ever again. So always remember that. And I love it when someone says, man, you're a lot more expensive than your competitor. And I'm like, oh, absolutely. Who knows your business better than I do? I've been sitting across the table from you. I know your last year's revenue. I know where you want to go. I know why there's problems. I have a clear understanding of what you want to accomplish. You're going to pay for my expertise to help you get there. It reminds me of a video on YouTube, and you need to look it up. Hit HVAC nuclear power plant. There's a gentleman that charged $100,000, and all he did was fly in to Russia, turn a little valve, and nuclear power plant blowing up went away. Everything got settled. And if you look at that video, it tells the truth. You're not paid for what you do. You're paid for knowing what to do. They're paying for how to do these things. And last night, what you got a perfect example of from that customer was, number one, you don't care about me, all you want's commission. Honest statement. It really was. At the same time, you could come back and say, hey, you're absolutely right. I'm here for the commission, but in the end, I'm wanting to help you put 20 grand in your pocket. We're not looking for a marriage here. We're just looking for you to get the best deal and for me to make a buck or two. Have no problem with honesty being back at them. And don't be ashamed of it, ladies and gentlemen. Your customer knows the truth. Now, that brings me to an end of this video. There's more coming on Friday. Here's what I want you to do. If you're on YouTube, down in the bottom there where it says subscribe, please hit subscribe and then hit the little bell so that you know when I'm going live. If you're on Facebook, please like the video and forward the video. There's no charge for it, so if you think some of your friends and stuff could benefit from it, hey, pass these things around. My goal is to get as many people out there and help as many salespeople as possible. I also want to help organizations grow. If you go to my website at byronlindsay.com, you'll learn all the services that we offer and some of the things that we're looking at developing in the future. It's been a pleasure doing this video. I'm sorry about the audio problem on the first one, and I have to be candid. The first one was a little bit better than this one because I threw everything out there and I don't know what I said in the first one versus the second one. But either way, it's been a pleasure doing the video. I'll see you on Friday and Sales Talk Tuesday next Tuesday. Take care. Have a nice evening. Drive safely.